welcome to the fun side of hell. I am your host Lucifer, and today we are going back to Final Fantasy 13. Now, just a quick recap. As I said in the last video, I'm not going to read this because it'll show up in the data log, so I'll read it then. But it's just a quick recap of Chapter 2. Lightning, Saz, Hope, Vanille, and Snow all entered the Pulse Vestige, where we found Snow's fiancée Sarah and learned that she's also Lightning's baby little sister. I don't know why I said baby little sister, they're the same thing. Anyway, uh, found out that Sarah was there, Snow's fiancée, as I say, Lightning's sister. She apparently has completed her focus and turned into a crystal. After that, we saw Lightning, Saz, and Snow decide to beat up a Fal'Cie, which, to be fair, probably wasn't a good idea. But in this chapter, I'm hoping we'll find out whether it was or not. Which has decided to go full on tentacles. Yeah, I mentioned that in the last episode. And stuff's happened, so I guess we'll find out what happened to our heroes in this chapter. Oh, hello, Mr. Bird. Completely different from what I remember.
Great spot to watch from.
The whole game's here tonight. How'd that happen? Don't know. Destiny? More like dumb luck. Let's go find him.
Excuse me.
See you around. You know. No, but I want to.
That's weird.
You just missed her. She said she'd be at this usual place.
I really want to say something right now, but I'm not going to.
Sorry about that. Now, who'd you say you were looking for?
For those people who know me, they'll know why I want to say something right now, and I'm not going to, because you'll find out later on. But yeah, bear in mind that certain character just then plays a part in this coming stuff, but no spoilers at all about that.
Making a wish?
Maybe I was. I was hoping that tomorrow I can tell my sister. She'll be so mad, knowing I hid it from her.
Don't worry. I'll take the blame for you. You know, you should ask for something bigger. These are wish-granting fireworks, like in the stories.
And if we have them in Britain? London.
Stories, huh?
Any American fans out there know if they have wish granting fireworks in America?
They seem to fulfill their focus. They become crystal and gain eternal life.
Seems like a Japanese thing to me.
Would help if they gave you some clue about what you're supposed to do. We'll figure this thing out. You will never be one of those monsters.
So what will I be? A crystal?
Shut up, phone. What is this? One sec. Oh, fine. It's not important.
Yesterday at the store.
Lock phone.
That is
Jeez.
Don't know much about jewelry, but I hope you like it.
That's a pretty cool necklace. I know a friend who wants one. Probably really expensive. Actually, I think I'll look them
Stand
up.
by you. No matter what happens, I'm yours forever. Sarah. My one, my only.
Oh my god, no.
Will you marry me?
Say no, Sarah.
Yes.
God damn.
She said yes!
Ah, congratulations to the happy couple, even though I told you to say no. Wow, look at the lighting in this game. It's so amazing. It really is.
Gotta love these fireworks. They granted my wish.
Your wish.
Before I asked you to marry me, I wish that you would say yes.
Then maybe they'll grant mine, too.
What's that?
To have the courage to tell Lightning that I've become a Lassie.
Hey, our engagement is way bigger news. Oh man, I can't wait to see her face.
Should probably punch yours in.
She'll be my new sister.
Yeah.
Well, we all know what happens when you call his sister Snow, so let's not do that again, dude.
Whoa.
Oh, for anyone curious, by the way, the song playing in the background. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll tell you in a minute. Yeah, this. Do you mind? I'm trying to talk to the people here.
That was close.
Don't laugh too hard, sir. You'll fall off. Anyway, that song playing in the background just before they start talking again.
Gorgeous.
God damn it, Sarah.
Our own private heaven.
All we need.
I want to tell you guys something interesting. Yeah, anyway, I'll talk over this mushy crap. Oh, God. Anyway, the song playing in the background on this, if anyone has heard the original soundtrack, that is Sarah's theme. It's such a good song, it really is. I mean, I love all the theme songs from the games. I don't have the soundtrack, but I found them all on YouTube, so I got a few of them that I liked. And that's the end of that story.
Thank you, Snow.
Okay, so that gives you some backstory into Sarah and Snow's relationship. So now we are back to the main game. Apparently not. Okay, we'll save it here. Wait, was that? Oh, great. I apologize. It turns out I made a mistake on the ending of chapter 2. That was the end to chapter 2. Oh well. That was still a nice opening though, wasn't it?
Sarah!
Stop yelling. Everyone's asleep. Oh great, you woke him up, dumbass.
Is this for real?
That would look so beautiful. Creepy, but absolutely stunning.
This must be Lake Brescia? Well, I guess we fell from up there. And the lake turned to crystal? Help me out here. I mean, did the Foul Sea do this? How in the world did we end up here?
How should I know?
We're alive. How?
Sarah! No one survives a fall from that high. Not without a miracle. Sarah saved us!
Sarah, listen. It's all your fault. She got...
Turn around.
Hey! Watch out!
Ooh, sparkly.
What did I just do?
You used magic!
Who asked you?
Power
Lightning looks very, very happy about this. Yeah, I'm gonna, like I do with all tutorials, I'm gonna skip this one, but after this fight, I will explain the battle system to everyone, so don't worry. But in some of the fights, you'll probably see more of the battle system as we progress. Good job, you killed it. Yeah, so, as I say, I'm going to explain the battle system a little bit after this. For those who do know the game, if that's going to be boring to you, then by all means skip ahead. But for those who don't know the game, it will be quite interesting because the battle system can be kind of confusing if you've never played it before. If this is your first time seeing it, then the battle system from now on will be rather confusing, but as I say, I'll try and explain it as best I can.
So we really are Lassie.
Looks like it.
You too?
Yep. Right here.
Okay. Well, I hope I don't get flagged for that.
Let's see to the last. Why me? I don't even know you. But you have to go and attack that thing? Just leave me alone.
Good idea. Let's go.
It's your fault, my... You could have. All of this is your and Sarah's fault.
Watch it!
Punch him, Snow. God, I hate that fucking kid. Oh God, I didn't. Sorry, I didn't. I did say I was going to tell you my least favorite character was, but no, I just did. Just leave him there, Vanille.
Everything's gonna be alright. You'll see.
I love Vanille's positivity.
Off we go.
And she just drags people away. Kind of like the police. In some countries, or so I've heard. That's when you kick off. Oh well. I'm rambling again.
See, huh?
Oh, I get
Yep.
this human.
We're all playing for Team Post now.
Awesome. Wrong button, sorry. Okay, so I'm gonna read... Okay, so... read data log or do this? Well, we'll talk through this. Get onto this. Okay, so... Anybody who has played previous Final Fantasy games will know the way the battle system works in that. Where, well, I'm just gonna use Final Fantasy 7 as an example because it's the easiest one to remember. Basically, with Final Fantasy 7, you get materia that basically gives you the right to use magic. You can already use basic attacks, but materia gives you magic. In this game, magic is based on, if I can just show you, magic is based on the Ravager roll. So basically, anyone in a Ravager role can use magic attacks, like ice, water, lightning, fire, all that kind of stuff. The Commando role, which currently the lightning is in, that is where you get your basic attacks, like just attack and blitz, as you saw earlier on. A new thing to the game. Now, again, going back to Final Fantasy 7, there was a materia for cover, which basically meant that you could take the damage in place of your opponent, in place of your teammates. In this, it's called Sentinel, which basically means that anyone in the Sentinel role can have the enemy focus them, and then they can use a function that guards against attacks, while everyone else on your team can just rip into the enemy. They will basically be get everyone's attacks focused on them. Um, the medic role is pretty much self-explanatory. That is what you go into when you need to heal your team, whether you need to heal them or bring them back to life. If they do get status ailments on, for example, if someone uses Deprotect on you, then that basically you gain an ability in medic role that takes that off. There's 3 more roles, I believe it is. What am I missing now? Hang on a minute. There's 2 more roles. We don't have them yet. They will come in. So as soon as they come in, I'll explain them. Because I don't want to bog this episode down with explaining things too much. So that's how the roles work. Now, the way well, I'll show you in a fight, basically. Yeah, moving on. Okay, let's... What? This is still chapter 2? I thought it was chapter 3. Oh well. Oh wait, we haven't officially started chapter 3. Oh, okay. Moving on. Yeah, let's read this. Yeah, I'll explain a few more things in a moment. So let's read this. Snow pleads with the pulse foul sea. He offers himself in Sarah's place if it will release her from her fate. The foul sea remains silent. Seeing Snow's desperate pleas go unanswered, Lightning and Saz draw weapons on the lower world being. Even if the foul sea will soon be destroyed along with the entire vestige, they have reasons to defeat it with their own hands. Lightning's reason is due to Sarah. Saz's reason is not in the game yet. Well, hasn't been told yet, so I'm gonna keep my mouth shut on that one. Right. They work together to bring down the foul sea, and the vestige now plummets towards the lake below. A final wave of power explodes from the dying foul sea, transforming the water and surrounding area into solid crystal. Lightning and the others do not witness this breathtaking event. Upon defeating the foul sea, they are drawn through a rift into a dimension where an immense otherworldly presence awaits. Onto their bodies it sears cursed brands. Onto their minds the vision of a beast destroying Cocoon. Swept along by the unimaginable energies, the helpless companions are swallowed in a lightless void. As Snow drifts in the darkness, one memory fights to the surface of his consciousness, which is the one we saw at the beginning of this episode. Lightning feels nothing but anger towards the Pulse Foul Sea. It had taken Sarah and cursed over the sea's doomed existence. It is the underlying reason for the purge, and it is an enemy to be cut down if she is to fulfill Sarah's final request to save Cocoon. Lightning's aggression provokes the foul sea into action, and it attacks her. Saz draws his guns with grim resolve, and Snow joins the battle without hesitation. As they deal a killing blow to the master of the vestige, a flash of light rends the air. They are pulled into a swirling void of chaos, where they are bound by an ominous and inexorable? I don't know how to pronounce that, I'm sorry. Entity. Branded with arcane markings, the companions are then assaulted, with the vision of a terrible beast tearing Cocoon apart. Soon after, the vestige finally succumbs to the combined attacks of the Sanctum forces. In the midst of the chaos, a memory surfaces from the depths of Snow's fading awareness. A marriage proposal made to his beloved Sarah under a night sky lit with the colours of exploding fireworks. Can his wish for a happy future ever be granted now? That is the big question. And I'm not going to tell you if it does.
Why me?
Why are you flipping so... Do you want to get out my way, Saz? Can you be more like Vanille? Positive.
The soldier to keep her cool through this mess.
Well, she's probably dying inside.
Okay, if we don't know our focus, how do we complete it?
I think I saw it.
Saw what?
That is how a focus comes down, people. The foul sea, they don't spell it out with clear-cut instructions. all you get is a hazy glimpse.
Mm-hmm.
Suspicious.
Well, that's what they say. Legends and all. Legends.
I love Sassy. Cool.
Did you see anything?
Point in asking him. He's a dumbass.
I just... It's all kind of foggy, but
I was
I saw this
stoned.
big... towering...
What? Wait a minute. Hold on now. Do we all have the same dream?
That would make sense. Maybe you know its name already.
So, we all saw the same dream. We all heard that same voice.
You mean that was our focus? But how are we supposed to know what to do from that?
That's the tricky part. The dream's the only hint the Fal'Cie gives us. Figuring out what to do with it, that's our job.
Okay. We're pulseless, right? Enemy's a cocoon. So, does that mean that our focus is... Are we supposed to...
Save her.
Say what?
Our focus is to protect Cocoon.
Really? Okay. And why's that?
Sarah told us. Let's do it. We're all in this together. I'm gonna look for Sarah. She ought to be nearby.
I'll come too! Wait!
Jeez. That boy can't stay still.
Really?
That's right. Keep walking. Okay, I'm gonna skip this tutorial as well. Yeah, oh wait, we can't. Okay, this tutorial can't be skipped, but basically, it doesn't really explain much in the way I'm going to explain it, because that, to be fair, is so much easier. But I'll read this one anyway. Having become Lassie, the members of your party can now develop their powers, learning new abilities or improving attributes such as strength, magic, and HP. Okay, you can't skip this one, sorry. Forgot about that. Okay, we'll read this data log and then I'll explain the Crystarium stuff to you all. After being caught in the destruction of the vestige, the group awakens directly under the hanging edge, on the expanse of a solidified Lake Brescia, an after effect of the energies released by the dying Fal'Cie. The waters of the lake are now frozen in crystal splendor. Despite having survived a fall from an incredible height, the companions are unable to appreciate their luck, as each one of them now bears a brand of alien design. The mark seared onto their bodies signifies their servitude to the Fal'Cie, and the gift of magical power. It is the brand of a cursed Lassie. Worse, they must now complete their assigned focus, if they are to avoid becoming monstrous Seath. Though none can say for sure what their mission actually entails, their only clue is the vision they all witnessed of the great beast lying waste to Cocoon. Ragnarok. Though all signs point to a bleak and tragic destiny, Snow alone remains optimistic, convinced that his focus is to grant Sarah's wish and save Cocoon. He sets off full of confidence. I like Snow. I mean, he's not my favorite character. Again, they're not in it yet. But I like him. So, okay, here we go. This is the Crystarium, which is basically the leveling up system for characters. As you can see underneath their HP, you've now got CP. That's the crystal points, which are used to expand your characters, and this is what the Crystarium board looks like. So, as you can see right now, Lightning has two roles, a Commander role and a Ravager role. As I explained earlier on, Ravager means that she can use magic, Commando means she can use basic attacks. So, we're going to level that one up first, because that's the one we're using for her. So as you can see, it basically has all different these little orb-like circles. Stuff like strength, health, and everything like that. They all get completed when you push your button, which uses up. As you can see, the CP has gone down. These are just random abilities. They can life siphon, for example, and power chain. They are automatic. Like you can't activate them; they automatically activate. Stuff like ruin, blitz, and attack, as I said earlier on, they are just your basic attacks. Ruin is kind of a non-elemental magic attack. It doesn't really do that much damage, but the whole point for certain characters when it comes to the commando, as you saw with the stagger bar from earlier on, commando roll helps to make that go down slower. Now, in order to get it to go higher faster, it is better to use Ravengers, but when using your leader, I leave my leader in a commando role because it's so much easier. But with certain characters, I will change it up. As you can see, I ran out of CP before I could get to this. Um, but it does stack. It basically stays on. It's like, again, using Final Fantasy 7 as an example, when you got the ability points, which levels up your materia, it all stacks on top of each other. So for now, that's got 41 CP in it. You need 60 to get an extra 20 health. But each fight will give you CP depending on your battle score, which is the stars. Depends on how much CP you get. Some battles, if you don't get any stars, you won't get any CP. But that's nothing to worry about for now. So since we're using Snow as a Ravenger, I'm going to level up his Ravenger role. As you can see here, same sort of principle with the attacks. They are basically the magic he can use. Frost Strike is a physical attack, but it deals ice damage as well. So if an enemy is weak against an ice attack, then and Snow's strength is quite high, then that will deal physical damage plus add on the ice effect with its weakness doing more damage. So as you can see, Snow only had 2 abilities to do in this, so we've been able to do both of them at the same time. So I'll walk through the Sentinel role now. So as I said earlier on, when it comes to Sentinels, they can take high damage. With Steel Guard basically meaning that he's resistant to all types of damage for a limited time. It doesn't give you like a full resistance. You still take damage, but not as much as like your commandos would. Provoke basically, whatever enemy you're targeting, they will now focus your sentinel. So when they use provoke on an enemy, it will basically make that enemy target them. You'll see what I mean in a later fight because I do have to use it in a later fight. And like with commando, um, like your sentinel roles and Ravager, actually all the roles have different abilities that come on automatically. Sorry if I'm really not making any sense. It is easier to see it while I'm talking about it because then obviously you get to see it for yourselves. So we'll show you Vanille's medic roll quick. Ah, yes, I was hoping this was going to pop up at some point. So Libra basically means that you can scan an opponent. Like, I'll use it in the next fight and show you what I mean. Oh, sorry, I forgot to do Cells and Hope. Hope. Let's see if anyone figures out that. Why I say it like that. Oh, okay. He's got the role. One of the other roles I was going to talk about. Okay, Synergist role. Basically, trying to think. Were they in 7? I think they might have been in 7. I know they were. Anyone who's played Final Fantasy 9, or anybody who's played most Final Fantasy games that have buffs in, like that's your synergist role. Your synergist role basically buffs your characters. I'm just gonna level up his Ravager roll for now. Your synergist roll basically puts buffs on your characters, like as you can see, protect. There's another one. I don't know whether it's available yet. No, it's not. There's ones that basically gives you a higher resistance against physical attacks. There's another one later on called Shell, which gives you a higher resistance against magic attacks. So yeah, let's carry on. There's so many more abilities.
Find a way
But
out of here. We can worry about everything else later.
yeah, thank you for that, Snow. I was talking to everyone.
I can't see anything but
Yeah.
the crystal.
Awesome, Vanille. Yeah, as I say, there's many different abilities later on, but I said that earlier on. Anyway, yeah, there's a lot more abilities, but I'll talk about them a little later on. No, we don't need a Sentinel roll for this one. But as you can see, Lightning in Commander roll can only use physical attacks, and Snow using his magic attacks, same with Vanille. Yeah, I'll show you the changing soon enough. Might need to make a new one as well. Oh, that's something I forgot to mention. When you go in here, when you go into customize, it's got the 2 preset ones, but if you go to the 3rd slot, then you can set it. You can set up your own. So you can have Lightning as a commando. You can have Lightning as a Ravager if you really wanted to. I personally, if I have a leader on, I tend to leave them in the commando role, as I said earlier on, because it's so much easier for me. You can have 2 commandos, but truthfully, there's no point. Because if you have a second commando, basically, the second commando will attack a different target to your leader. So, it's not really worth doing, to be fair. Because it's like, oh yeah, you can change the position of them. I always have it like this because then I know where everything is. Yeah, so it's not really worth having 2 commandos on because, well, you want to just get through the fight a lot quicker. And even though it sounds like having 2 commandos would help with that, it really doesn't. Just got a new weapon for Vanille. So let's see if this does better. So yeah, as you can see, I had no CP before that fight, and now at the bottom I have 19 CP. So each fight, depending on how difficult it was, depends on how much CP that fight will generate for your characters. So Vanille, yeah, that boosts her magic up, so that's helpful because I should say, I think, yeah, with 7, everyone knows this from 7 anyway, that you can have, each character has a different role, like some of them mages, so they basically are much better in like a magic based role. With 7, it was Arieth who basically did terrible physical damage, but her magic damage was higher. When it comes to this, the ones who do the higher magic damage than physical damage is Vanille and that little shit Hope. The likes of Lightning, Snow, and Saz, they're sort of balanced between strength and magic. That you can pretty much use them as commandos. You can use they do well as commandos and they do well as Ravengers. There's a character a little later on who is, well, my personal favourite character, who is basically best suited to the. Wait, I was doing your center role, wasn't I? Yeah. Who's basically best suited to the commander role because she has the highest strength on the game. Um, when it comes to Snow, when it comes to attacking, Snow is balanced on attacks, but as you can see from this screen, Snow has the highest health, and that continues through the entire game. Snow has the highest health in the game, so he is basically the best Sentinel on the game. There's another character a little later on. Yeah, Benny, shush. There's another character later on. My personal favorite character, the best commander in the game, and they are also a Sentinel. They're not as good as Snow, but they 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 get the job done. They don't get as much health as Snow.
Watch the others, will you?
But they pretty much. No, there's no treasure up. Sorry about that. I was listening out for treasure up. Yeah, so they don't get as much health as Snow. There's one up there. But they are pretty much, in my personal opinion, the second best Sentinel on the game. I found out ones with the preset. Oh, wait. Quickly go into techniques, go to Libra on that one. Kill the other one. So basically what that now does is, as you can see, I don't know whether the webcam is over that. 1 second. Oh, that's going to be bad. Yeah, so as you can see with the set with Libra, it basically shows their health in the left, and what status elements do it's got that can go on it in the right. Let's quickly go here. Basically the ones with lines through are the ones that you can use against it. The ones with the symbol on it are ones you can't use against them. At the moment I don't have the role to put status elements on enemies, but well, since we've got 4 of them here, I'll tell you what they do. Also, the vulnerabilities, as I was saying earlier on, it shows whether they're vulnerable to different types of magic or whether they're more vulnerable to physical attacks or anything. As you can see with this one, it's just all normal. Yeah, so status elements. The one with the sword with the X, that's called Pain. That basically stops the enemy from doing physical attacks to you, which is very useful against certain enemies. Then one next to that, the little staff with an X on, that's called Fog. That basically stops you from doing magic attacks, which, as I say, same with Pain, it's very useful. The little clock face with the X on, that's called Daze. Now, Daze is really useful unless you attack. Basically, Daze stops them from attacking completely. They will just literally just stand there and stare at you until they're attacked when it wears off. And, well, pretty much self-explanatory. When you see the skull, that's the death. That basically means that it's immune to the death spell, which you get a little later on. So I'm going to move the camera feed back over now. And we are going to go back into the game. We're going to continue on. Oh, there you go. Sorry, I was pushing the wrong button. I'll just edit that out. So yeah, there you have it. I should have used Libra on that other one. So as you can see, the Christogen points, which is your CP. I got 22 on that fight because it was a little harder. Well, it's meant to be harder, but it's not actually that hard. The early enemies are, in any game really, are just really easy to beat. Now I'm gonna go and get the. Oh, good jump, Lightning. I'm gonna grab this quick. No, it's just more. Vanille, why did you follow me? There's just more upgrade items, which Why am I going in that? Sorry. We can't upgrade at the moment. Well, we can't upgrade the weapons and your accessories at the moment, but you can a little later on. I'll go through that, but to be fair, it's again that's pretty self-explanatory. But as I say, I'll go through that a little later on. So Vanille has now learned the. Will you just do what I want you to do? Thank you. Vanille has now learned the water ability, which basically means she can now use water-based attacks on any target that she so chooses. Also, I should point out, the only character you can control attacks for is... It doesn't really matter about you, you little bastard. The only attacks you can control are the attacks that your leader uses. The ones with member written on them, like the way Snow and Vanilla are now, they basically just randomize their own attacks. They're controlled by the AI, they randomize their own attacks. But when you use Libra on an enemy, because it shows what their weakness is, that means that basically Vanille and Snow will know. Say for example, it was weak against fire, they'd know to use fire-based attacks because that'll do more damage. So the AI learned from Libra basically. Yeah. Hopefully these explanations. Stop yelling, Snow. Hopefully these explanations aren't too confusing, but yeah, I really hope they're not. Snow,
This just might work.
Snow, what are you doing?
Magic may be cursed, but it makes us stronger, doesn't it? Was to stop us from putting it to good use.
Everything. Oh, must have been a wave. Oh, we got money. Yep. Just keep going. Look, even the fire's crystallized. That's amazing.
We fight it! Ragnarok! That's the reason we're Lassie. To stop it. To keep Cocoon safe.
Yeah, why don't you give us one reason to believe that? One reason.
Sarah. She said to protect Cocoon. And then she turned to Crystal. That's the proof right there. She completed her focus. That means ours is to save Cocoon. Sarah's fal'Cie was the same as ours. Our focus has got to be the same. We were chosen to be guardians. To defeat Ragnarok. It makes sense.
What the hell it does? You're grasping at straws, son. Post fal'Cie are Cocoon's enemies. We just got recruited by one of them. If I were a betting man, I'd put us on the other side.
So Sarah's an enemy too? Well, I don't buy it. We have the power to save Cocoon if we work together and carry out our focus.
The fal'Cie took Sarah from us, and you want to help it? Whose side are you on?
Freeze!
Oh, goody. The soldiers caught up with you two good arguments.
You fall off the purge train?
Maybe.
Or are you talking back to me? Huh? Huh?
Nice gun.
Stop her! Freeze!
Cocky, cocky lightning, very cocky. Yeah, I know. It's the same as it's always been. We know. You basically go into a bit. Wow, that's lagging. I apologize for that. Why are you lag? Jesus, why is that lagging so much? I apologize. Yeah. Oh my god. I'm very sorry for that lag. The previous episode didn't lag that much, I hope. I mean, I watched it back and it wasn't that much lag. That was bad. I do apologize. Oh, another thing, if you Libra an enemy, but your teammates kill the enemy before Libra takes effect, then it doesn't take effect, basically. So, yeah.
I thought they'd be tougher than that. This guy's a psychom, yeah? Supposed to be cream of the crop.
Yeah, but SciComm's an anti-pulse task force. They haven't fought a war in centuries. Bunch of rookie troops swinging around overpriced toys.
So, from what you're telling me, sounds like a regular old soldier that's got more training than special forces.
Nothing for us Lassie to be afraid of.
Cut the crap. Their grunts might be green, but SciComm's elites are cold-blooded beasts. They hit the field and it's game over.
I hope not, because people are...
Then let's run away. Ciao.
I really love Vanille. She has so much energy.
What's a man to do?
Apparently follow a small girl. That's creepy. Oh man. Sorry. Another reading part. Man, I may just get to the next save one and end this episode here, because basically all this episode's being is me explaining a lot of shit, really, and me not really making much progress. So yeah, I'm gonna get to the next save one and end the episode here. In the next episode, because I don't have to explain as much, we will make tons more progress. And I do apologize for all the explanations if they are confusing to anyone. I really hope they're not. But I'm not really that good at explaining certain things. And I tend to repeat myself a lot as well. Well, if that wasn't obvious from my previous videos, then it is now. So let's read this. Now that they are pulls to sea, Lightning and the others try to figure out what their focus could be. The only thing that they know for certain is that the rampaging beast Ragnarok is somehow involved. Snow is convinced that their focus is to protect their world by defeating the beast, but one fact contradicts his belief. Pulse the Sea are the hated enemies of Cocoon. A Pulse Fal'Cie would never assign such a task to its servants. Lightning is infuriated by Snow's refusal to accept this logic. As she sees it, the Fal'Cie not only made them into Lassie, it also took her sister from her. The former soldier could never bring herself to meekly follow the orders of such a being, and Snow's apparent surrender to its will, however misinterpreted, is more than she can stand. As they trade heated words, Sanctum soldiers surround our location. Arguments will have to wait for now. They must concentrate on surviving. Yeah, never ever argue when you're surrounded by people with guns, because that's a bad thing. Yeah, hopefully... I think I can finish yours. Yes, really, Snow's health is ridiculous. For anybody who remembers, I think I did. Hope's health is not usually that high at this point, but it's because I put an accessory on that boosts his health, because... Well, Hope has a very... How do I put this? He has a very disturbing relationship with dying a lot of the time. I'm not using him now, so you can't see what I mean, but yeah, we're coming up to a little bit where you're gonna see what I mean. What you guys are going on ahead? Okay, let's kill these fuckers for you. Oh, look, another treasure roll. Okay, we might be able to get through a lot more. I might actually be able to show you what I mean about the Sentinel. Actually, I'll show you what I mean about the Sentinel roll. I think we're coming up to that part now. So I'll do that in this episode, because then I don't have to go through many explanations in the next episode, which is perfect by me. Because then you guys aren't bored by my explanations. we get more progress that way. Although, I get the feeling in the next episode I will have to explain something. Guess we'll find out together, because I don't actually know. Oh, we got 36 CP for that, that's good. Grade 8 goddamn commentary, Lucifer. Well done. Managed to bore everyone. For anyone who's made it this far after my boring and long-winded explanations, very high praise to you. Really, thank you for sticking through the explanations. I really hope no one skipped ahead. But as I say, if you've seen the, I hear frogs. I don't like frogs. Oh, there you are. Yeah, as I say, if you played this game before yourself, and you know the explanations, then you probably did skip ahead to the... What, did I miss a treasure rope? No, I got it. Yeah, you probably did get through it. Probably skipped ahead. But yeah, I don't blame you if you did. My explanations are absolutely terrible. But I really hope those who didn't, who've never played this before, did get something out of the explanations and didn't find them too long-winded and boring, and I can show you what the medic roll does now. So yeah, here you go. I'm gonna explain that in a second. So basically what I did was change their roles. As you can see above the ATB, you've got the paradigm shift, which basically changes the roles that they use, which is why Vanille is basically using healing rather than attack magic. And now we just changed it back, which basically means that Vanille will now continue to use attacking magic rather than healing magic. It's rather confusing, and if you're not very fast with doing it, I mean, when I first started, I wasn't very fast at doing it. Timing was off sometimes, so it cost me a few fights. But if you, as you do it more, you do find that you get a little bit faster on it.
That doesn't look good.
Nothing looks good right now, Vanille. Yeah, you find that you get a little faster on things. So you find that your timing is getting a bit sharper, so you know how far you can push it before you have to change. I'm at that point because I've completed it that many times. I know my timing pretty well. Sometimes I screw it up, but other times I get it down to an art form. Like, sometimes I do it that fast you don't even realize I've changed. Sometimes I do it that fast that I don't realize I've changed, and I forget that I changed sometimes as well, because there have been moments where I've changed it that fast that I'm yelling at, like, Vanille for not healing, and then I realize she's in an attacking role, or wondering why Vanille's not attacking, and then realizing I left her in a medic role. So yeah, let's not do that with this playthrough, because that's bad. Okay. I know I don't have hope on at the moment, but I do get him in a bit. So I'm gonna change your accessory. Yeah, I put the iron bangle on you. So there you go. There you go again. I don't think did I explain weapons and accessories? They're pretty self-explanatory. Certain accessories boost your magic. Certain accessories boost your health, like the one I'm putting on Hope now. Like the iron bangle boosts your health. That only boosts it by 50. A silver bangle boosts it by 100. Let's see, do I have any of the others? Like power wristband, there boosts strength by 20. There's one above that, which I believe boosts your strength by 100. I can't remember the exact numbers, but they get higher and higher. They get better and better. And Doctor's Code, which I rarely use to be fair, that boosts the effectiveness of potions, But to be fair, when you get the medic role, you don't really use potions that much because there's really no point in using it. Oh well, we're gonna save here, and I believe. No, I'm gonna go on and I'm gonna save here, and then we'll do this next part. And then yeah, thank you. We'll do this next part because then I can show you what this sentinel roll does. I really hope it works out as well as I want it to. Yeah, so I'm
Weird,
gonna
isn't it?
shut up.
All the messed up ways to meet. I might as well make introductions.
Wait,
I'm Snow Villiers. Short stuff?
is it this part?
Hope best time.
God, I hate the kid.
What about her?
Bodum Security Regiment. She
I think
goes by
it's
Lightning.
this part.
Last name's
Yeah, this is the part I'm gonna do. This will show you the.
Why kids have to get dragged into this?
This will show you the sentinel roll
I'll
a little
keep the
bit.
kids out of trouble.
You're one of them.
Problem with that is, you're one of them.
Thank you, Sass.
Hey,
Trying to take on the post-foul C. That was our first mistake. We should have left it to the sanctum. Why not? I mean, we've counted on the sanctum's foul C for food, water, everything we've needed since the time we were born.
but you still helped us do it. Why is that? Gotta be something.
There might have been. Not so sure anymore.
I think you might have pissed him off, Snow. Not a smart move, dude. Okay, this game is making a liar of me. Yeah, oh shit, there's no new event, sorry. What, there was a new event? Yeah, screw it, I'm gonna go on. By the way, before I do go on, in the data log, if anybody wants me to read the people's side of things, which it basically gives you explanations on the characters a bit more, goes in depth on characters. If you want me to read that, let me know in the comments and I'll read it. The same with the 13 Days, History and Myth, Locales, Cocoon Society, and the Foul Sea. If anybody wants me to read that, then let me know in the comments and I'll read them. But to be fair, if I just show you that one quick, that's a lot of, that'll just be a lot of long-winded reading. So I don't know. I'll leave it up to you guys to decide that what you want to do about that. I mean, to be fair, it's the same with these as well. They're very long-winded reading, as you can see. There's a lot in them. There's a lot of different choices, and it gets longer and longer. So as I say, I'll leave it to you guys. Stuff like that. I'll leave it to you guys in the comments to let me know if you want me to read that. Hopefully I'll be able to show you the sentinel roll soon.
Guess they're hunting down page survivors now.
Yeah, I guess we can keep going for a little longer. Sadly, I will have to split this chapter up into 2 parts. I was gonna do it in 1 episode, like I did with the previous chapters. But because thank you, Vanille, for that. Because of the explanation of the crystal points and stuff like that, the episode will be far too long to do the entire chapter in. And I don't want to make it too long because then it just gets boring or anything like that. So yeah, I'm probably going to have to split it up into 2 episodes.
I'll take care of this.
Yeah. I'm sure you will, Snow. So yeah, I'm going to split it up into 2 episodes. Sorry if you were expecting this to be 1 episode. I was hoping it would be myself, but yeah, I'm just gonna stop rambling now. So let's see if I can get this done. Come on, I really want to show the people the sentinel roll. I really want to show off the Sentinel role to you guys. We're in this at 6, really. Yeah, I really want to show off the Sentinel role to you guys before I end this episode, because the Sentinel role is it's pretty cool. Well, I think so. Don't know about all of you guys. Wow, I really. Oh yeah, I'll walk through that in a minute. So there we go. That is for now for the stage that we're at with the Cristarum. That's what it's called, by the way. Yeah, with the stage we're at now, basically Snow's got everything for his commando. As you can see, the commando crystals. It shows you which ones you're missing, where you're well, it doesn't show you where you're missing them, but it shows like the things you're missing. So like if he had, as you can see, he's got 2 out of 2 abilities. If he had another ability, obviously it would be up and I could go further with it, but because I've got everything in that one, and everything in there, we don't have to go in, when we do the crystal points, we don't have to use them for Snow anymore, so they will just stack and stack and stack until we get to the next Cristarum stage, which is not yet. I believe it's the next chapter? I think it's the next chapter. Don't hold me to that, because I literally I've completed that many times. I don't actually remember everything on it. What? I I'll be honest. I've watched many people do like random later on fights on YouTube of this game, and there are people who use Hope in an attacking role. I'm not sure why. Hope's a medic. Well, Hope's a mage. His strength is terrible. It really is. His physical attack is really bad. So I don't understand why people use him. Wow. That's why I use Lightning as a commando at for now, because her strength. Because well, she just cuts her enemies like they're nothing. There's my favorite character, who, as I keep repeating myself. Yeah, she comes in a little later on. My favorite character. What I've just got there goes on Vanille because why not? The Magician's Mark. That is like the power wristband, except it boosts your magic rather than your physical attack. Well, rather than your strength, I should say. It still does the same amount. It still boosts it by 20, but it boosts your magic by 20. I keep forgetting to check these. It boosts your magic by 20 rather than your strength, which for Vanille. Stop doing that. Go out of that. For when it comes to Vanille, her magic should be always higher than her strength because, like Hope, she's a mage. I mean, you can boost us. Well, you can put strength items on her if you want. It's your playthrough. If you ever play it, you can put strength items on her. You can. At the moment, you can't use her as a strength-based character. Well, I'm just gonna stop rambling now. Here we go. This fight, I can show you the Sentinel role a lot better. Oh, look who it is.
Sarah.
The one we've been searching for the whole time.
Sarah!
And of course, Snow is running off. Yeah. Gonna be able to show you the Sentinel role. Yeah.
Thanks.
This is goodbye.
That's your sister, Lightning.
Lightning! You're just gonna leave her?
Psycom will be here soon. If they find us, we're all dead. You think Sarah'd want that? You think you know how she feels?
If I leave her, then I'll never know. We'll be fine. I can handle anything they throw at us. No one will die. I'll protect Sarah and Cocoon.
I like your convictions now.
Does she look protected to you?
I can
Poor
save
Saz.
her!
What can you possibly do?
Whatever it takes!
Ooh, me. You two are hopeless.
I agree with Saz.
You just can't admit it. You want to stay as much as he does.
Uh-oh.
Huh? Whoa, whoa. No, no! No, no, no! Not now!
Stand back!
Yeah. Big ugly snake giant thingy. I know, I've already explained it to the people. Thank you for that, though. Yes, we know. Yeah. No way. I'm gonna leave her this. Okay, yeah, this is the fight. As you can see now, it's flashing red. That basically means that all of its attacks will hit snow, and because snow's guarding against it, then it will. Okay, make a liar out of me. Yeah, some of the attacks don't always do that. If they're like area of effect attacks or AOE for whoever knows what that means, like they will just attack everyone, obviously. But usually if it's like it is now, even though I'm not in the sentinel role, sorry, it's still basically targeting snow with its one person hit attacks. That's even the technical term for it. But yeah, if I was still in sentinel, he would have guarded against that and take less damage. But because it's staggered and I need to deal high damage, I need everyone in the same boat. Snow's nearly dead. So we change the diversity for now. And that means Vanille will heal up Snow. That thing does not like snow, does it? Stop attacking.
Stay sharp.
We can change. Yeah, it really does not like snow. Also, another good point that probably hasn't shown. When you stagger an enemy, if it's like using a big attack or using an attack, when you stagger it, it basically. Oh, good, we killed it. It basically stops them doing that attack, like interrupts their attack, which is really good. And really helpful depending on what you're fighting. But yeah, that's basically the sentinel role.
You're leaving?
I wouldn't get in her way, she's already knocked your ass out
We want to help
twice.
Sarah too. But without tools, we could be digging for days. The army's on our trail. So for now, we gotta keep moving. For now.
So I just abandon her and save myself?
What about your focus? What happened to banding together and saving the world? Isn't that what you promised? Now you want to forget it all and die right here? Snow, you're nothing but talk.
What you told.
Lightning! I'll do whatever it takes. I'll finish this focus and keep Sarah safe. That's my promise.
Great job so far.
Yeah, you could try being a little nicer once in a while, Lightning. Oh well.
Stay out of trouble.
You do.
Get going.
But
Later.
Okay.
Snow,
Save it for next time, kiddo. We'll get left behind.
Good.
but
It's okay, Hope. Light'll take care of you. We'll meet again.
yeah, count on it.
Alarm bells didn't ring in his head at this point. The way he said that. They should have just left him behind.
I'll get you out of there.
Count on it.
No need for that. Okay, so now we have Saz in our team. And I'm going to...
I'm not happy about leaving the kid on his own, but we gotta keep moving.
yeah. Saz is pretty much the voice of reason throughout the entire game. And yeah, at the moment we've now lost Snow out of our team. So basically now we've lost our Sentinel. Because no one else can fill that role at the moment. Which isn't too bad. I mean... It sucks, but... Yeah, we got a pretty strong team anyway, except for Hope. We got a pretty strong team at the moment, so... Yeah, we don't really need it. Okay. Is she dead or merely sleeping? Sarah, now a silent statue, is trapped in a crystal embrace. Lightning doesn't wish to leave her behind, but reluctantly says her farewells. The army is on their trail. If they stop to dig Sarah free, their pursuers will certainly catch them. However, Snow is not ready to say goodbye. He elects to stay behind, protect Sarah, and somehow fulfill her wish to save Cocoon. Knowing they cannot change his mind, Lightning and the others continue on their way. Hope drags himself away from Snow for what might be the final time, and a chance to say what he is burning to say is lost. Shame Hope isn't.
Guess we don't have time to be rested.
Nope, now I need to find a save point. Wow, what is going on with this line, dude?
Maybe we shouldn't have left him on his own.
That'd be fine.
So all we can do is pray he makes it up.
Yeah, awesome. Seriously, where's the save point? More frogs. Yes. I think there's a I hope the save one around here. Because this is getting pretty long. Oh, come on. beast it when it gets to a certain point. I can't remember which way to go. Down? What's this? Oh, there's. Oh, yeah, I remember now. Okay. Hop down. Jump on it. You only just left him today, he's fine. I was hoping getting a jump on them would, well, hoping falling from above would have meant that I got a preemptive strike, but I guess not. I've been recording for an hour and 15 minutes at this point. So, yeah. We go a little, well, I'm gonna have to go a little longer until it gets to the save point. Just in case you guys miss. We're gonna go down here and get this. We'll check what's down here. Oh, treasure orb. We'll get the treasure orb quick. There's oh, there's 2 treasure orbs. Again, I'm not supposed to be doing a full completionist playthrough, but more weapons for Saz. That's helpful. I'm not supposed to be doing a completionist playthrough, and then I end up getting a load of stuff. I really shouldn't say I'm not gonna do something, because I end up doing it. Okay. Oh yeah, we got new weapons for Saz. Let's equip them. Okay, that boosts your magic and drops your strength. Oh, let's just do that anyway, because you're in a magic roll at the moment. Quickly use this to boost. Oh, boosts lightning's health. That's helpful. She won't die very quickly. And boosts nothing from here. Yeah. So now Saz has Flame Strike, which, like Frost Strike, oh, god damn, I hate this kid. Like Frost Strike, it does physical damage, but does flame damage, fire damage instead of ice damage. Obviously, don't know why I have to explain that, but I decided to. I'm apologizing now. Vanille, why are you just standing there?
Okay, do not shake the slippery tube. Be cool on this. Do not shake the slippery tube.
Just don't look down.
Scary if you look down. You should close your eyes.
I was gonna make a Shrek reference there, but I'm not. I'm not going to. I really am not. Although I do love the film Shrek. Well, I say love it. I like the film Shrek. Because Eddie Murphy is such a funny actor. And I also like that he can do serious roles as well. That's just good job, Light. There's not much. I don't know why it does that. Okay, seriously, where is the save point? Why is this?
Still couldn't talk to him.
You a
We'll never
save
get
point?
past this
Oh,
if he
you're
doesn't
an
say
orb.
something.
I'll grab this orb quick. Seriously. Oh look, a blocked path. How will we ever get through? Actually, how will we get through? I don't know. Unless you did. Okay. Oh, wait, there's a weird symbol on the map. You got any bright ideas, half pint? Oh, it's kid. Move! Neil, get out of the way, please. Thank you. What's this? Wait, something popped up. Look up. Huh.
Looks operational.
And yet you broke it. That does not look fun. By the way, that was operational, but lightning broke it. How rude of her. I hate these enemies, they just... Yeah, I hate these enemies. And lightning just wipes them out in one attack, jeez. Yeah, I usually hate them because they just, their numbers are so high that they're just absolutely... can be annoying unless lightning decides to one bomb everything. Which is rather helpful. Oh crap, lightning's right there. The diversity. Heal me, Vanille, please. Thank you, Vanille. Yeah, I guess you should heal yourself and Saz. Actually, is there any point? I'll just stay in this roll spirit. Me and Saz will finish it up, Vanille, don't worry. There you go. God, I've been recording over. I know there's a save point nearby. There has to be. There we go. Yes, there you go, save point. Okay, so we're gonna save here. And I am gonna pause a second. I'm gonna leave this episode here. So yeah, that is the beginning of chapter 3 of Final Fantasy 13. We're gonna hopefully finish the chapter off in the next episode, which should have so much more progress in because I don't think there's that much explaining to do like there was in this one. As I said multiple times previously, I do apologize if my explanation was not very clear or if it was just long-winded and boring. But for those who've never played the game before, it's the easiest way to explain it because the actual game tutorial is pretty long and I don't feel like you get the full idea of what it is unless you see it in action or unless you know what's going on anyway. I feel like it's much better to have it explained by someone who knows what's going on, who can put it in a different way, an easier way to understand, kind of thing. So yeah, so next episode we're gonna finish chapter 3. Probably start chapter 4 depending on what we get done. But for now, yeah, if you liked what you saw, hopefully you all did. Feel free to solo the like button, and I will see you all in the next video, I guess. So I bid you all a fond farewell. I have been your host, Lucifer.